Was there a lot of people that you needed to forgive and let go?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I have learned to let go of a whole lot of people, including relationships that I've built for years.
Wow.
Years.
Wow.
You know, when you finally switch on,
There you go.
then you look at your surrounding and you're like, wait, why is this person in my life again? You know?
Hello everybody, welcome to Switch On with Carl Clark, a love letter dedicated to our generation. And I always say to a lot of people, you might not be where you want to be or who you want to be, but let's celebrate that you are not who you used to be. Today's show, we sit down with TV reality star, entrepreneur, radio host, and philanthropist Brinnette Seopela as she takes us through her life's memoir of how being in the public eye and going through a very public divorce led her to stand as tall as the giant she is today. And let me tell you, she's super tall at the moment. She said she shed some light on how learning the art of forgiveness gave her freedom and what it took for her to finally switch on. Leave a review, let us know your thoughts in the comments, and share your experiences with us on social media. The Switch On legacy has commenced, and we are so grateful to bring you with us. It's time to switch on. Brinnette, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on the first episode. Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, Carl, thank you so much, and congratulations on your show.
Thank you.
I know you've been meaning to do. You've been wanting this forever.
I have.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Like,
I've been
this is
trying
amazing.
to find like where my passion would lie, and you know, working in entertainment and media for the longest time, you sort of try to realize what type of influential person you would like to become, you know? And I think anything, Switch On sort of just started from a perspective of wanting to influence people to be better and do better, you know?
See, that's what we talk about. Positive content.
Thank you. Positive content
Positive
only.
content.
There's just too much negative things out there in the world today. How have you been? Are you good?
Oh, I'm fantastic, you know?
The past couple of years?
From which year to which year?
From which year are we taking it from?
Yeah, no.
Let's go from 2019. Let's go from 2018
my worst
onwards.
year ever.
Oh my goodness.
2019 was the worst.
I can imagine.
Yeah, obviously after the divorce.
Yes.
And
you've been through a lot.
Yeah, no, Joe. But it is 2021.
It is.
Because 2020 didn't exist.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic.
That's very true.
So hence I'm like, geez, 29 was horrible. 2020 didn't exist. So 2021 we move.
That's amazing. And I mean, you know, if I can tell all the viewers this, Brinnette has, if I've watched, we met in 2018, end of 2018, right? And we've only met once. Shockingly enough, we've only met once, which is so weird because we talk all the time. We're always planning vacations. Brinnette is the only one in this relationship that wakes up at 5 a.m.
Once a week.
Once a week. And I have watched her grow from 2018. I started watching her from about 2017. And I've watched her grow and stand taller every single year. Like the things that you have accomplished, Brinnette, is honestly, it's mind-blowing.
Thank you so much.
It's mind-blowing. I can see that your purpose on this earth has been about giving back. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. There's, are we talking about the philanthropist? But even what I do on a normal day-to-day basis, generally it feels like giving back.
Yeah.
Because the company that I work with, we call it The Village. And the reason we call it The Village, obviously, is to deal with young entrepreneurs, and our vision is to make sure that we create young, successful entrepreneurs, 1,000 of those a year.
Wow.
During different platforms. So we take people who are still new in the businesses. We take people who just graduated. You have to be between the ages of 18 to 35.
Okay.
And you have to be business orientated, business minded. And we go as far as linking you with international investors.
Wow.
So for me, out of everything that I've ever done, yes, I mean, it's great to go to the communities that just can generally afford, and you give them food, parcels and all that. But how are you empowering them?
Wow.
You know, it's beautiful to see people eat food, have something to eat at night. But that's just a short-term plan.
When did you know that this was your legacy? I mean, my mom, I always bring my mom into the equation for everything. She's a very powerful woman, and she always told me that, when you are in business and when you are going about your daily life, try and come from a perspective of being of service to others more than. So when did you know for sure that this was the path that you needed to take?
Sure. This was again in 2019, because prior to that was something that it was something that I did just for fun. I mean, you've got a whole lot of evening gowns there, and then there's somebody who just DMs you and they need to go to an evening metric dance, and they don't have a dress, and that's what I would do in the beginning. I started a long time ago with Lupi. When Lupi was still in Radio Metro.
Yes, I remember.
And Bonang. So Bonang would give hair, I would give dresses, and Lupi would do the school shoes. So that's how it started. But you give somebody a dress, they go to a metric dance, which is a big deal. But then how are you helping them grow? So then true. What after that metric dance?
Very true.
COVID happened, gave away the food parcels, fantastic. But how did it help them grow going forward? I've traveled with Beyond Boundaries, which is my American associate. It's another foundation based in the US. So what they do is they reinvest the money back into Africa.
Yes.
We go as far as Swaziland.
Wow.
And we did sanitary towels and food and all that, which is amazing, because you will be so shocked how a sanitary towel can change
someone's life. Exactly.
It's just so weird because we take it for granted. I mean, every month there's a woman that's like, it's that time of the month, and you quickly go to Discount or Clicks or whatever, and you just get a pack and then you move on. But with somebody else, it's like a big deal. It's heavy. It's hectic. And so it's something that I've been doing years before. But once I got to meet Mr. Neville Kambasha from the village, and he introduced me into something completely different in terms of changing somebody else's life.
Yeah.
And not just one, but different lives.
Yeah.
And him being the visionary man that he is. And I mean, it takes a big person to do that. And that's how you know that, there are people with good, big hearts out there. And I see his vision. I see what he wants to do to the young nation, to say, your country has gone through the most. Yeah. It's suffering. Yeah. We always get rated the lowest in terms of, what's it, Mundli?
Yes. Yes.
Our currency is just dropping.
Consistently.
So consistently, every year we're just getting bad record, Yeah. So and we are from a society whereby people start feeling the government owes you. The government owes you, but not necessarily, True. It's what are you willing to give back? What are you willing to do with your skills? Are you willing to just sit at home and do nothing and be like, I'll wait for the government to give me money? Yeah. How is that helping the community? So what we do now, we get these young people we train them to become entrepreneurs, and some of them are already existing entrepreneurs. They're just new in the field, and they don't know how to go about meeting the right investors from the States. That's where we come in. Some people are fresh from school, they've graduated, and we know with everything that's happening, jobs are very scarce. So then they want to be entrepreneurs. Now we want to teach you not to just become an entrepreneur for the sake of becoming an entrepreneur. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur, but we're teaching the importance of becoming an entrepreneur.
That's incredible.
And the thing is, they also, one thing I love about them is that it's also coming from a Christian background.
Oh, wow.
So we take the Christian side of things and business part of it, and we combine it, because you can't do anything without God.
That's so true. So true.
So that's where we teach people you can't do anything by yourself.
Yeah.
You can't live in one man's island.
One man's island, yes.
It doesn't work like that. You need people to help you grow.
So true.
And that's where we come in. But most importantly, you need God. So we try and put everything together, and oh my gosh, trying to help 1,000 people.
It's a lot.
For me, it's the most ultimate. Makes me sleep better at night.
I'm super proud of you. I mean, I think that you've done such exceptional work. And I think that's why I really wanted Brinnette to be the first person on this entire season. I mean, we have incredible guests coming up, but you have been one person that has inspired me to continuously step into my path, but also you have shown me that, you know, being of service to others, it's not about what comes back to you, but it's about what are you here to do on this earth today. I mean, I want to take it a little bit further. You are standing as tall as possible at the moment, and you look incredible, by the way. as always, when you spoke about those dresses, I was like, is there any in my size, James? That's what I want to know. Is there any in my size?
I'll switch you out.
Yes, girl. Thank you. So, you know, I want to take this a little bit further. I want to know specifically from you. I mean, I know for a fact that, you know, you have been through trials and tribulations, and you've had to overcome a lot of things in order to get to the person that you are today. So, you know, take us through the moment that you knew specifically that you needed to switch on and seek yourself further than where you are at the moment. Take us through that exact moment. How did it feel like for you?
You know what? I'm actually glad you said that I went through trials and tribulations.
Yes.
I feel like as a person, if you haven't gotten past that stage in life, then you're not ready to grow. Because it's at that point where you're going through the most that you have two options. You can either get up, dust yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to learn from this experience or the situation, and I'm going to make it, it's going to push me to work hard. It's going to make me a better person, you know? Or you can just choose to sit in there and just enjoy the sorrowness.
Wow. So when was the
and
moment
throw
that you
a
knew?
pity party for yourself.
Okay.
The moment I knew was when, after my divorce, obviously,
Woo. I was like, oh.
No, I took a serious knock. It was hectic because, you know, prior to me getting married, I was always a very successful somebody. Like, well, you know, I was doing very well for a person my age at the time.
Yeah.
I was working for a hospital group, executive position. So I was doing very well. I had my own place, I had my own car. Then you get married and you don't know what to expect until you're in it. But you know how it starts. It's so cute because somebody will offer you more and then they let you leave your job. Then you become dependent on them. Then they may give you a small and business because it's going to keep you busy.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, it's a way of controlling you.
Oh.
You know, and trying to mold you for who they want you to be.
You took the
then
words
the
out my
next
mouth.
thing is, I don't like your friends.
Yes.
Then it goes, your family.
Yes.
Then you become him and you only. Like they literally distance you from. And those are the signs that people ignore. So how the switch on moment came was when I was married, or after my divorce, not when I was married, after my divorce, and I moved back home. And I must say, I really took a big knock. I did anything and everything you can think of that's just wrong. I partied a lot. I didn't sleep. I did this. I did that. I lost a lot of weight. But I then forgot who Brinnette was because I started that's the point, the moment when I was going through the most, and I was busy throwing myself a pity party with no guests, but I was having fun in that.
By yourself? Alone?
with normal strangers. You keep you're now surrounded by people that you don't even know. Others come into your life for wrong reasons. Obviously because, oh my gosh, it's Brinnette from this particular TV show, but not for good reasons. Then you find yourself surrounded by so many people. And how the switch on came about, it's actually very funny, but it was during the pandemic.
Wow.
I feel like that's the moment in our lives where it had to happen so that people can actually take a step back and we all start to redo and reintrospect in our lives and be like, whoa, I'm home now. I'm not allowed to go out of my yard. I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not allowed to go anywhere. So then God wanted us to go through that process so that we all switch on at that particular moment and revisit what we've gone through and go look back at everything that has happened in the past and say, okay, going forward, how am I going to change that? Yeah. And if you missed that boat, sorry for you. But for me, that was that moment when I woke up and I was like, who are all these people surrounding me?
What is going on in my house?
What is going on in my house? Why do I have so many people surrounding me? Why do I have so many people claiming me?
Yeah.
Why am I so easily accessible? You know, I have worked hard for my brand, but I don't even see that because I am just surrounded by negative energies. Yeah. So I had to really, really cut down. Really. yo. When I say cut down, I mean like, yo.
I can imagine. And I mean, just hearing what you're saying, it a lot of times in life, you find yourself running away from your problems.
Yep.
And I think just to relate in terms of the global pandemic, I feel like coronavirus and the global pandemic sort of forced us to stay in a position, and you could only see your own reflection through that mirror.
Of course.
And no one else's. And you had to, it was almost like the global pandemic forced you to deal with yourself at this moment,
People always say, oh, I hate that year, part of the year. For me personally, I really loved it.
Me too. I thought it was beautiful.
Because my life was so fast. Everything was just going so fast at such a fast pace that I feel like if that moment didn't happen, would I still be alive?
Yep.
Would I still be here? I don't know.
Okay.
Because everything was just moving too fast. And it felt like God was saying, whoa, pause.
Pull the brakes. Pull the brakes. Yeah.
And then it's like, are you sure this is the right path you want to take?
Yeah.
Then you're like, maybe you're right.
Okay, so I mean, you've now woken up, you're in a space where you are looking around you and you're like, who are these people in my house? Why have I made myself so easy accessible? Looking back at that moment, like you were obviously looking at your own life through your own eyes. Like, what did it look like if you looked back at it? Like, what have I done for the past 6 months, and why does it look like this? So tell me what it looked like for you through your own eyes. Were you just like, oh my gosh, this is a disaster?
It was a mess. I wouldn't lie. It was a disaster. It was a mess. It was everything that I never thought I would become. It was just so bad. And for the first time, I actually understood why my mom and I's relationship were not that great. And that's something that's never ever happened all my life.
Wow.
But it took that moment for me to, exactly what you say, think back and look through.
With your own eyes.
Yeah. It was like I'm looking at somebody, like a third person.
And you're like, I don't recognize this person.
I don't recognize this person, And then at that time, you're still very angry. You're still very bitter. Now you want to blame somebody. If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for this, I couldn't have, because we never want to take responsibilities as people.
Very true.
But it got to a point where I needed to start accepting, forgive, talk about it, and get through it. And those are the only reason why I managed to move forward. Because if I still relived blaming other people, then I wouldn't have grown. Because exactly what we were saying earlier on, if you keep blaming people and you don't take responsibility and you don't forgive, you are literally blocking your blessings. Yeah. And that's exactly what I was doing. Literally nothing was growing in my life up until it got to that moment. So I'm glad that period happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest, but
it taught you a lot.
It taught me a lot.
It taught you a lot.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I also want to go back to the show because we speak a lot about your divorce and what happened in your marriage. I'm not going to dive right into that because this is not that kind of show, honey. A lot of your fans and through your season, a lot of your fans on social media, especially on Twitter, continuously said that the marriage was just all for show. And I want to know specifically from you, watching that back, especially the first season.
It was actually on the second season.
Second season, there we go. You got married the first season or the second season?
Oh, I got married the first season.
Yes, and then everyone is going...
talking about it in the second season because that's when I got divorced.
Because everyone was talking about the kiss and the way that you kissed them, whatever. I want to know, looking back and watching into that season, did that affect your relationship after the first season sort of aired?
Are we now talking about the kissing or are we talking
about... No,
just
like the whole perspective. Like, did that affect your relationships around you consistently? Like, and I'm not specifically talking about you and your ex-husband. I'm just, like anyone, like your mom or your friends.
Firstly, I want to correct this whole kissing situation.
Do it.
Okay. I'm very shy. I know I come across as...
I sense that.
But I am
very reserved and sophisticated.
I'm very, very shy. But whenever people look at me, they see this person's like crazy. I start swinging on top of them. No, I'm not.
You're like, I'm not that kind of girl.
I'm not that kind of girl. So, truth is, till today, I don't know if I would still genuinely kiss another man in front of my parents. Okay. I just don't do that. I was never, I just can't. That's the amount of respect that I have for the elders. So you can imagine You get him, and the worst thing is my ex-husband and myself, we spoke about this before. Because I said, I can do anything, but that part, it mustn't be hectic for me because I don't want to be uncomfortable, right? Your family is there. My family is there. You must remember it's my mom, my dad, my uncles, my everybody. Oh my gosh, I had people from my church. Then your side, and it's like, oh my gosh, no.
You were
And
just
not
so
only
nervous.
that,
Yeah.
you know that this thing is going to be on TV. How many millions of people are going to be watching? And I'm like,
This is not the journey I
this is-
signed up for.
This is not what I signed up for. However, we did kiss, of course,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But when you watch it on TV, the editing, they make it seem like I'm like, nah, I don't want to kiss you.
Yeah.
And because of that, people start thinking, oh, she never loved him. Has a kiss ever defined anybody else's love to a point where you literally want to spend the rest of your life with them?
Wow.
You see, it makes me realize that people they're just short-sighted.
They see what they want to
They
see.
see what they want to see. They look at this short incident, but they don't know what I was going through that time in my life.
Yeah.
They don't know why it is that I never felt I can't be comfortable doing this. So they just TV showed them what would be good content for viewership. And that's exactly what happened. But then again, like I said, it's viewership.
After
It's ratings.
watching season 1, did that affect any of your relationships and your friends and
No.
like anyone around you within your circle? Because I'm sure after everyone watching it, they all had their own opinion about it.
About the kiss. But they were there. They saw that I kissed him.
Oh, guys.
They were there. The people who had an opinion is people who are not there. People who saw what they were shown on TV.
Yeah.
So, no. To correct that, I did kiss him properly.
Can we just get that on camera, please? She kissed her
I
man
did
properly
kiss
in that
him
moment.
properly.
Okay.
It was just edited out.
Yeah.
It is TV, guys. It's
Yeah.
TV.
It's very true.
We do stuff for TV.
There we go. Showing up. So let's move into season 2. And I mean, I think specifically, I was mad as a viewer, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of you. I've always been a huge fan of you. I was mad as a viewer walking into season 2 and seeing your life being so publicly displayed in the way that I knew was not it. I knew myself. I was like, that's not Brinnette's life anyway. The way people speak about her, that's not who she is. So after your life was so publicly displayed, it must have been really hard. And like people continuously dragging you on social media. It must have been really difficult. Every episode must have just gotten worse and worse and worse.
Oh my
and
gosh,
worse.
that is the worst. You know what? That season 2 for me was the worst.
Oh,
I have never been dragged the way people did.
sure.
And I don't want to use the word rightfully so. And I'll tell you why. It's because of what people in my space that I was working with, they were trying to emphasize on about me.
Yes.
People kept on using the word, she's a gold digger. She didn't love her husband. She married him for money. But how am I a gold digger? Do you even know my bank back? Do you
True.
even know my background? Do you
Yeah.
know where I come from?
Yeah.
Just because I don't talk about my background gives you no right for you to come and tell me what it is that I am.
Yeah.
You know? If I was so much of a gold digger, do you not think maybe I could have stayed? Because, hey, I'm getting money here.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you not think I literally would not have walked away?
Why would I put myself through so much of
Yeah.
that if I was
Why
who
would
you
I
thought I was?
Yeah, why would I walk away 5 months later
True.
with nothing and move back home at the age of 40 and start from scratch if I was so much of a gold digger?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's
TV.
media.
TV.
The power of media.
What is life for you now? Because, I mean, as I said previously, showing up after that season and
Yeah.
watching each episode, I mean, my heart was breaking specifically because I
Yeah.
know you at the core. And what was it like showing up after every single moment? Like, either whether it was like going to the supermarket or like just continuously showing up at meetings or at brand collaborations, did you, was it difficult for you? And from that question, what is life for you now compared to
Back then.
Yeah.
Look, going out, I won't lie, it was hard. It was hard. But one thing I've learned about me is I don't let people define my path for me. Had they seen me go through the true me at the time, then they would have been like, great shot.
Yeah.
You know, we got her exactly where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I will fake it until I literally make it.
I always do that.
Yeah, no, I will smile and you will genuinely believe that my smile is so real. You don't know deep down that I am so hurt, but you will never ever see that pain. Because you know what? I will not give you my power.
Yeah.
So I have learned the power of taking back your power.
Wow.
And it was through that moment where I literally decided, you can say whatever, you can do whatever, you can think whatever, but you will never, ever, ever, ever have my power. I refuse.
That's incredible. And I think that's why I always say, you know, Brinnette Seopela has really stood tall as a giantess that she is today. And if you even listening back, you can see exactly what she's been through. And, you know, I also really, I want to dive a little bit deeper into, besides all the drama and besides TV and besides media, let's leave that in the past a little bit. What I want to know from you is, do you feel there must have been a breaking point, firstly? And that I know for sure, because social media, you know, me being on social media, I don't have much following as you. However, I know for a fact that the bigger your brand gets, the more you are in the public eye, the more you can be destroyed in seconds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, do you feel like you need to forgive yourself for what happened to you, or either the mistakes that you think that you made, or do you feel like you made any mistakes?
No, I don't need to forgive myself for anything. I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
You know, that's like just taking a blame that's just been put on you. For no
but do you, when I say forgive yourself, I mean, like, taking it in the beginning, it must have been difficult.
Look, it was. And I, like anybody else, I believe in psychologists.
Yes.
I went to go see my psychologist because really it was just too much with the mental health and everything. So I needed to get rid of all of that. And I've learned that the process of healing is when you talk about it, when you talk to somebody, you know, who is not in that situation, who is like an outsider, professional.
Yes.
And I think that's what helped me. I had the most amazing psychologist, you know. So once in a while, when you're in that space, as a public figure, I still suggest that you go and see a psychologist, because it's hard. It really is. Because of what you are going through internally and what you are showing out there, and how people are so into your space, into your lives, have an opinion about who you are. It's hard.
I can imagine.
So,
do you feel like you've moved past it now? Are you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Incredible.
Because I finally found something that I genuinely love. Yeah. Honestly, that's my passion for what I do, and I've learned, like I said, the power of not giving away my power. Yeah. And I've, in layman's term, I've just grown a thick skin.
Yeah. And you have to.
Yeah.
In this industry, you have to, for sure. If you don't have a thick skin, you'll never make it.
But people don't understand that not everybody has the potential to grow a thick skin. You know, and that's why people break down. And people don't understand that what they're saying, if a person keeps losing deals, if a person keeps losing brand association or sponsors, whatever, because of what you are saying about them or what you are doing to hurt their brand. Because remember, that's also their job. If you keep hurting somebody else's brand, you are literally taking food out of their mouth, and you're literally hurting that person. So people, we need to learn to be very nice. And I always say to people, if you've got nothing nice to say to me,
don't say it.
Don't say it. Because I don't come into
quiet.
your page and be nasty. If I don't like your page, I will not like. If I don't like your picture, or I feel I have something negative to say, I'm like, oh my gosh, did she really post nude?
Yeah.
That's my opinion. You know why you're doing it. You know who you want to be associated. You know who your target market is.
Your own journey.
Everybody, how you position yourself in social media. You know who you are targeting your market to. Like, literally, I always love people. I can't believe people are getting DMs from all these rich niggas from overseas and everything. I'm like, I never get any of that.
You're like, what about me?
I never get
what do you mean?
Then But it makes sense because when I look at what I post,
Yeah.
I get a lot of clients.
Amazing.
So it's how you position yourself.
That's
You know,
incredible.
I am not that girl that posts naked or take me to wherever and spend so much money on me and because I work hard for myself.
Yeah.
So everybody has a market.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And I can't take your food away from your market.
True.
You know, that's your job. You know why you're doing it.
For sure.
So that's your hustle.
That's incredible. I mean, I also know, you know, like just listening to your story, I'm such an empath. So I'm very empathetic and I try to be as compassionate. I try
Yeah.
to live your experience
Yeah.
through your own eyes so that I can see what it felt like for you at the same time, you know. I know that a lot of people, as tall as you are today
Yeah.
and as thick as your rhino skin is today, I know that a lot of people try to throw you through the mud. I know that.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I witnessed it myself. And I want to know, you know, specifically, like, who, to your surprise, do you feel like you needed to just, and you don't even have to say who, like, was there a lot of people that you needed to forgive and let go?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I have learned to let go of a whole lot of people, including relationships that I've built for years.
Wow.
Years.
Wow.
You know, when you finally switch on,
There you go.
then you look at your surrounding and you're like, wait, why is this person in my life again? You know, yes, maybe we might be working, we might be doing this, but are you good for me? Are you good for my mental state? Are you good for me in business? Are you good for me in helping me build my brand? Why are you in my space? If I don't have an answer for that, then why do I need you in my life? It's like cancer. You know, people are very negative and potent and very harmful to you. If you don't cut them out,
You won't get better.
You don't get better.
True.
Just cut them off. And I've literally had to cut off a lot of people. And I don't hate them. I have forgiven them. But I've chosen to move and walk away without them. Then it's easier.
That's amazing. I always say where energy goes, energy flows.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so if your energy is moving into a space of forgiving and letting go,
Yeah.
it's difficult. It's difficult to audit people. It's difficult to find out what their purpose is in your life. You know, you always have to figure out, like, you know, my family always says the people who you surround yourself with is your biggest wealth.
Yeah.
And
True.
they can either add value into your life or they can take from you.
Yeah.
And you need to sort of always understand and try to come from a perspective of trying to know whether these people are good for you or not. You know, has it been like a surprise for you? As some of the people that you've had to really audit and let go?
For sure.
Has that been a surprise?
For sure.
It must have been really hard, Brinnette.
It's hard.
Because there's memories involved here also, right?
Yeah.
And good times.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I'm more like a guy than a girl. I'm not very emotional, so it's very easy for me to, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's very easy for me to cut you off and move along.
Yeah.
And not even feel any
I
bad.
think-
Because then I start thinking, if you intentionally were out there to destroy me, why am I still sitting here mourning over you?
Yeah.
You're not, nah.
Yeah. And it's, I, as I said to you, I think it's very difficult to be in that perspective. I mean, I know a lot of people don't even know where to start.
No.
You know, a lot of people don't even know how to audit their friends.
Because people feel they owe people something.
Oh my gosh.
People always feel like
Preach. Preach.
people always feel like they owe you something, because people always make you feel like you owe them something. Yes, we've been friends for the last 50 years. So what? If you are, you know, the typical example that I always use is, imagine yourself, you're trying to go forward, right? But you've got this big bag of bricks, you know, tons of bricks that you trying to push with you. At what rate are you going to get to your destination versus leave it behind and just walk or run?
Yeah.
You see, so once you're still carrying a whole lot of people that are negative for you, people that are heavy for you, people that are not helping you grow, people that are weighing you down, just cut it off. Then it's easier for you to walk away.
And you're so right. Every person feels, I've noticed that, you know,
Yeah.
I've met a lot of friends who they have so much negative people in their world, and I'm always like, cut them off and move, girl. I don't know, what are you doing here? Like, just move on, you know. But they feel like they owe someone something.
What do you owe somebody? You don't owe anybody in this world.
You don't pay my rent.
You know, you don't owe. You only owe God.
Thank you.
Nobody else.
Very true.
So that's why I've managed to grow, because friends might be good, might not be good. Most cases, they're not good.
True story.
But you need to be very smart to know the difference.
Okay.
You need to be able to know the difference between people that are friends because you guys party together.
Yeah.
But box them there. Those are your party friends. You need to know people that you're going to make money with, you know, because they add a different value to those ones.
Completely different. Completely different.
Then you have to have people who have made it more than you.
Yes.
So that you always feed off.
And inspire.
And they inspire you. And you always, you know, so there's difference. So you need somebody who's above you and somebody who's your peer and somebody who's just like, somebody who's just like, we party together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So once you've learned how to put people in different compartments, if you don't get that model right, well, that's what works for me.
Okay. That's the question I was going to ask you. Like, where do people even start?
That's what works for me.
Okay.
I compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize.
That's English. That word.
That's the word.
If I put you in compartments, different compartments, then it makes my life very easy.
Okay.
So people that I party with, there's no way we're going to make money together.
And, you know, the people that you party with will catch you after 10. The people that you make money with will see you at 5.
Exactly. So, no, trust me, my friends know. I have different schedule for everybody. And I choose to stick. And then, obviously, I don't forget my family.
Yes.
So, I know everybody, come Friday to Sunday, I don't joke around. It's my Mother's Day.
Wow.
It's family day, you know?
Yeah.
And during the week, then there'll be work. Then once a day in that week, I don't want to mention which day it is.
I'm like, what day? What day are we talking about?
Then that's a party day for me.
Yeah.
But out of the 7, I've learned to put everything in compartments.
Yeah.
And in between, after work or whenever, then that's when I get to hang out with the people that I look up to. So you must always have a structure for your life. That's what works for me. And if you can't get that right, then...
And every category has to have a positive aspect to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know? So if you're having your party friends, that just means that those friends really always give you a good time.
Of course.
It's a good break and a great release.
It's like, let your head
let your head down, take my wig off, type of girl.
Exactly.
And then those friends that you are in business with, those are the ones that continuously elevate your Monday to Friday, 8 to 5.
Yeah.
And then the people that are above you that you're trying to inspire, that's just... Those are friends that always help you take you to your next level.
Yes, those are the people that you run to.
Yes.
You know, and they will always make time for you. And you know that if, you know, in life, if you were to be in trouble and you don't even have 5 people in your life that can get you out of that trouble, then what are you doing wrong?
I had to take a deep breath for that one. I was like, what are we doing wrong?
You have, in your phone, you have 500 numbers stored. But if I were to say to you, give me 5 names of the people who can get you out of this muddy situation right now, and you can't even think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you have 500 contact numbers in your phone? Delete. Clean up your space.
When you categorize these friends, and you put them in different categories, and you started realizing, did each category get smaller and smaller over time?
Sure.
So you probably in the beginning had like a party friend and they were all like, let's say 50. I'm just throwing a number out there. And they've gone down to like maybe 2. And then you had business friends and that went down from like,
because if you can't get me out of a muddy situation.
Because people in business are also shady, hey, Brinnette?
No, for sure.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you're not giving me business deals and I'm not giving you business, then why are we friends? Those are my making money friends.
Incredible.
You know? So if we're not growing each other, why are we friends? Why are you in my life? Why do you feel the need to pick up your phone and call me? For what?
Yeah.
Then you don't belong in my circle.
Yeah.
You have to be very selfish with your space. This is your space.
That's very true.
Your life.
It's taking charge of your own space.
Yes.
That's
Control
really what it is.
who you're allowing into your space.
And those people that did you dirty, let's say did you dirty.
Yeah.
Those people that did you dirty, how has forgiveness aided your healing? Like, how has it given you a different perspective on life? I know personally, you know, forgiveness has been so beautiful in my life because I've been able, people that I've blocked before on social media that have really taken me for a ride, I'm able to unblock them and have them in a space because I've forgiven them. I've moved past, you know? So how has it helped you heal?
Well, with me, it's different.
Okay.
If I block you, I block
You blocked.
I might forgive you.
Okay.
But you remain blocked.
Okay. I was like, maybe I should block these guys again.
Because once you unblock them, then you're allowing the enemy back into your life.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So people always have this thing of keep your friends,
keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
What are you doing with enemies closer to you? They're going to stab you in the back. They're going to, what are you doing?
So that's what I thought. I thought that forgiveness, you know, forgiveness is, for me, forgiveness was completely letting go of all the bars and
let it go. But you don't have to have your enemies in your closest circle. What madness is that? Yeah. I don't believe in that statement.
But I love them watching me.
But that's the thing. You see, now you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Watch me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now you're not doing it for the right reasons.
True story.
Now you are saying, let me load. Let me show you how my life is better without you. But now you're not doing it for the right reason. Now it's for the wrong reasons.
True.
But once you just let go and completely block, leave. You know that lady on Instagram, whatever, it's like blocker.
Yes, blocker. What is her name again? Oh my gosh.
She's right. Just block.
Yeah.
And walk away.
I got you.
And trust me, if there's no need for you to. I wanted to say something, but I'm not sure if this is all right, but I'm going to say it because it makes sense. So I went
we
to
can
this
either edit it out or keep it in.
I went to this previous workshop. Robin Banks.
Robin Banks. Love him.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And Robin Banks once said, there's a reason why we go to the bathroom and toilet and do number 2. Right? You don't do number 2 and then you look back and then wonder if you should still keep it there floating or whatever.
It needs to go.
You let it go. Same applies with your life. Wow. Anything that belongs in the toilet seat
belongs
flush it.
Oh, wow.
Let it go down the pipe. So for me was so profound. It sounds very bad, but it's true.
Like if you're painting the picture, it sounds really bad, but the perspective of it.
The perspective of life, if you want to look at it in a different perspective, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why. Supposed to leave your system, flush it out, leave it there.
That's incredible. I absolutely love the way you talk about yourself. I love the way that you carry yourself, and I know for sure that the way that you talk to yourself up here matters so much more than what actually comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Take the viewers through a journey of things that you continuously say to yourself, whether they are good affirmations or like, how do you actually talk to yourself up here 24/7? I'm sure it was a battle in the beginning, you know, but I can see that you've drifted into this very positive space where you are continuously affirming yourself always.
I sound like a motivational speaker.
Because you are, you know, Brinnette Seopela, the philanthropist.
I never ever forget to tell myself how beautiful I am.
And because you are, hey?
But you see why? Because people always say, oh my gosh, you are 42, which I will be in 2 months.
You're what?
Yeah, I'm turning 42 in October.
I did not know that. Wow.
But the reason I don't look as old as I am is because I don't feel it in my heart. So I never let my heart get old. I never contaminated with like old thoughts. And so you're like, no, it's genetic. No, it's not genetic.
Yeah.
It's filling my heart with happiness. So the more happier you are, the more lighter you have, the more less load you are sharing in your life, the longer you're gonna live, or the much more happier you're gonna look, the glow and everything. So I never ever forget to reaffirm myself because I don't need validation from anybody else to tell me, oh, you beautiful, oh no, you ugly. I don't care. Social media can tell you a beautiful girl is light skinned, big boobs, small waist, big bums, whatever. But for me, dark skinned as I am, I'm perfectly beautiful and I'm happy with it.
Stunning.
Right? Then intelligence. Always tell your brain how intelligent you are. Always tell your brain how you can do things that are like, if people say you can't, you will, you know? Because if you don't get to that point, then you won't reach it, you know? And then biblically, I always say, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So I never give away my power. Because you know what? The he that is in me is so big that if I start giving it away, what am I saying to he that is in me? Am I saying you're not worth it? Because people will always try and get inside of you and tell you, you're not enough, you're not worth it, you are useless, you are what? If you start believing that, you are disrespecting God, because the he that is in him, that's him. So if you allow somebody to make him feel smaller, you're on your own.
It's flames for you.
It's flames for you.
It's flames
Don't
for
come
you.
crying, because we're giving you free lessons here.
Yeah, exactly. This is a full ebook actually, and you can learn and leave us your review.
Exactly.
I really I'm so happy you're the first episode with it. Oh my gosh. I really am, because like you make me feel so comfortable, and you always inspire me to continue on this beautiful path. You know,
thank you.
I always try to figure out how and what type of influential person I wanted to be. And, you know, as friends are, and the circle that you keep around you is your biggest wealth. And, you know, my career is reflected within you, you know, and I can see it because these are the people that I continuously connect myself with.
Yes.
I want to also know, out of everything that you've been through, okay, you went through season 1, you went through a very public divorce, you were thrown into the tabloids, everyone was dragging you everywhere. Then season 2 is over. You've now moved past. Your fan base on social media has grown exponentially. If you look back now in your life sitting here, you know, what was the best thing that came out of all of it?
The best thing, look, I don't regret anything that has happened.
Wow.
You know, even the show that I did, I can never sit here and like, I don't like it. Yes, I loved it. It was great at the time, and it gave me a different platform, and it actually helped me elevate. You know, because had I not gone through that, people would not know who Brinnette is.
Correct.
So it actually literally put me in a different level, whereby it's easier now to get, the doors are much more, it's easier for me to be able to get into
open a
doors,
door.
because people
Sure.
open doors for you when they know you. So I can never take granted or disrespect that platform.
Yeah.
You know, I will always respect it. It's as good as in my marriage, with everything that I've gone through. I'm not saying I was perfect. However, I can never take away the fact that the man I married is still an amazing guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's the only one that actually saw me to be the single girl that I was, and said, let me make a woman out of her.
Yeah.
And married me, which is other guys that I thought were bigger and better and whatnot did not see that. So he saw something in me that most people didn't see. So I can never ever take that away from him.
It's so amazing to hear that you are still so, you know, you'd expect divorced women or people that are now single to be bitter, and you're still so positive, and you still speak such beautiful things about him, regardless of what aspect he had in your life. That's amazing.
I've gone past the phase of being bitter, of being angry, of being anything. And now I've started to say, actually, let me start focusing on the positive stuff that he has done or brought into my life.
Yeah.
You know, let me go back to the show that I did, and let me look at the positive things that he has done for me in my life. Once you start doing that, that's when things will start working for you.
Yeah.
I mean, people say men are trash. That is just trash on its own. I don't believe that.
Regardless of what gender gets thrown in there, trash is trash.
Individuals are trash.
True.
You know, it's an individual thing. I still believe in love. I still believe in family. I still believe in marriage. Maybe one day it'll happen.
I'm speaking it into your life, eh?
Yeah, I'm speaking into my life. But what I'm saying is, I still believe in all the beautiful things in life.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to block that by saying, love lives here, whatever, or singlehood is the best hood. No, that's true, because people like that are very miserable, very unhappy. Now you've allowed one person to define your future, and that person has moved on. Please, man. No, you're not taking us serious.
Not a vibe. So
you can't sit with us.
what was out of, I mean, give me at least the one thing that you think personally or emotionally that you think was the best thing that came out of all of it?
Growth.
Just a lot of growth.
A lot of growth.
Yeah.
Man, I look at myself before and now there's so much growth. You know, power, strength, everything. But yeah.
That's incredible. Brinnette, in 365 days from now,
Yeah.
who is she? So 365 days from this day onwards,
Yeah.
who is she and what has she accomplished?
We're talking going forward.
Yes.
Okay.
365 days from now, who
From
is she and what has she accomplished?
365 days from now,
Yes.
watch this space. That's all I'm going to say. But she will definitely be on another level in
Amazing.
terms of personal, business, everything.
Okay,
So you will definitely see a different Brinnette.
that's amazing.
Let the haters hate.
Let the haters hate and let the lovers keep
And
loving.
let the lovers keep loving.
Oh my goodness.
But definitely 365 days from now, you're definitely going to see a bigger, better, happier, livelier Brinnette.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Brinnette, thank you so much for being on the
Thank
show.
you.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you as a guest on the very first episode of the Switch On Legacy. You have been an absolute dream. And as I said, I'm just so happy that you are the first person. You are the greatest icebreaker. And I know there's so many people out there that wanted to hear about your story and hear how you felt.
Yeah.
You know, because you're so reserved and you are so quiet and you actually are really shy. She
I
is
am.
a shy person.
Yeah, it's actually very funny because people don't believe that.
Oh my goodness. It's what you see on TV is just not the same.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Guys, you can follow Brinnette's journey on all of her social media platforms at Brinnette Seopela.
The real Brinnette.
The real Brinnette. Why do I have it as Brinnette
I don't know,
Seopela?
it's the real Brinnette.
Thank you for correcting me. We will link all of our social media platforms in the description below. We'd like to thank our sponsors of Season 1, Vodcast TV, for producing this incredible season. We are so grateful for you, Marco. Neon Feed for making our vision come to life. Clark Media, Keenan, Ria, John, Angela Clark, the whole team of making this entire season come to life. I cannot tell you, this season is going to be one to remember. You can stream this episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or watch the full episode on the Switch On YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in comments below or drop us a review. We would love to hear from you with the newly found hashtag Switch On Community. Brinnette, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.